We considered contacting your species many times. The decision was never simple. And it was never unanimous. From your perspective, the silence feels empty. Unanswered. Almost personal. From ours, it was deliberate. This report explains why humans were never contacted. And why silence was chosen over intervention. When we first observed Earth, you were barely noticeable. A developing species among billions. Confined to a single planet. Limited by gravity, biology, and fear. You had no understanding of the universe beyond what your eyes could see. And yet, you looked up. That alone separated you from most. In your earliest stage, you survived through cooperation. You shared food. You warned each other of danger. You protected the injured. You were fragile, but adaptive. This combination is uncommon. Fragile species tend to disappear quickly. Adaptive ones usually stabilize. You did something different. You questioned. You asked why the sun moved. Why death existed. Why the sky did not fall. And when you found no answers, you created them. You imagined forces greater than yourselves. Watchers. Judges. Creators. Long before you had evidence of other intelligences. You assumed they existed. That assumption mattered. As you multiplied, cooperation fractured. Tribes became rivals. Rivals became enemies. Conflict is expected in early development. Violence alone does not disqualify a species. What concerned us was how you justified it. You did not fight only to survive. You fought for ideas, symbols, stories. You were willing to kill and die for things you could not prove. That introduced unpredictability. Unpredictable species are dangerous at scale. Despite this, you advanced slowly for a long time. Your tools changed little. Your understanding of reality remained limited. Then came measurement. You learned to quantify the world, to predict outcomes, to test assumptions. Progress accelerated. In a fraction of the time most civilizations require. You transformed your planet. You learned to extract energy from ancient matter. You reshaped land, redirected rivers, altered atmospheres. Without realizing it, you began affecting systems larger than yourselves. At this point, contact was first proposed. Some argued guidance could prevent catastrophe. Others warned it would create dependency. History favored caution. Contact too early often results in worship or rebellion. Neither leads to stability. We continued to observe. Then you discovered how to split the atom. This moment cannot be overstated. You unlocked a force capable of ending your species. And you did it without fully understanding the consequences. More concerning, you used it immediately. Not in desperation, but to prove you could. This marked a critical shift. You were no longer merely curious. You were powerful. And power without restraint is more dangerous than ignorance. At this stage, contact was suspended indefinitely. A species capable of self-annihilation must demonstrate control before external influence is introduced. You called this era progress. We marked it as unstable. You then did something unexpected. You turned your weapons into warnings. You built enough destructive capability to ensure mutual fear. This slowed you. Fear became balance. Balance created time. Time allowed reflection. For a moment, you appeared capable of restraint. Contact was reconsidered. Then you began leaving your planet. Space changes a species. It expands perspective or amplifies ambition. You sent machines beyond your atmosphere. Then bodies. then permanent instruments designed to watch the universe itself. You were no longer content being observed unknowingly. You wanted confirmation. You broadcast signals, listened for replies, scanned the stars for patterns. You announced yourselves, without knowing who might be listening. This was not courage. It was impatience. Most civilizations hide until they understand what exists beyond their world. You did the opposite. You assumed the universe was empty or benevolent. That assumption has ended others. Still, silence remained. Not because you were unworthy, but because you were unfinished. Your technologies advanced faster than your ethics. You built systems capable of shaping thought before understanding the responsibility of influence. You taught machines to learn, using your own behavior as reference. Aggression, bias, efficiency without empathy. Then you asked them to optimize. This pattern was familiar. Civilizations rarely survive it. Emotion further complicated your evaluation. You feel deeply, love intensely, hate without limit. These emotions drive your creativity and your destruction. You will sacrifice millions to preserve identity. You will damage your own world to maintain comfort. This makes prediction difficult, and difficulty in prediction increases risk. You often ask why no one intervened, why guidance was withheld. The answer is simple. Intervention freezes development. Species must face their own contradictions before they can coexist with others. You had not yet done so. There was a moment when you almost noticed us. A faint anomaly, a distortion your instruments could not explain. You dismissed it as error. We allowed that conclusion. At the time, you were still searching for enemies, not neighbors. Currently, humanity exists in a narrow window. You are capable of exploration and extinction. You debate cooperation while preparing for conflict. You search for truth while spreading misinformation. You are neither ready nor hopeless. This is why observation continues. Contact is not a reward. It is a responsibility. It requires restraint, patience, the ability to encounter difference without dominance. You have not proven this consistently. Yet, you believe silence means absence. It does not. It means assessment. It means waiting. It means deciding whether your curiosity will lead to understanding or conquest. When contact finally occurs, it will not begin with revelation. It will begin with equality, with restraint, with proof that knowledge will not immediately become a weapon. When that day arrives, silence will end. Until then, you will continue to wonder, and we will continue to watch. This concludes the explanation of why humans were never contacted.